Well, welcome to Kill the Computer. My name is Caleb. As every week, I am joined by my co-host, June. How are you doing?
Doing so great. I can't wait to talk a little bit. Oh, we're talking about some fun stuff today. My favorite genre, some weird fucking weirdos, some freaks in the right best people to talk about. Love to view them under a microscope with a fucking magnifying glass. I love it.
Yeah. I actually had to switch music services because I destroyed my algorithm so much in preparation for this. So I had to switch off of Apple Music.
It fucking destroyed your experience. I kind of love that. Would you switch to Tidal finally or anything else?
No, so because we made all the listener playlists for the mailbag episode on YouTube Music, I was like, fuck it, I'll just go over there. You know what I mean?
Apparently it's pretty good.
YouTube Music is great because you can get all your classic popular faves, but if you want to listen to let me think, Otomo Yoshihide's cassette EP from 1992, you can also get that.
I've noticed, it has some real obscure shits. This a lot of the times, I discovered not shoegaze, math rock from YouTube a decade ago, just accidentally, like an album that was not on Spotify or anything.
Well, algorithms on YouTube are really good at recommending things, which we're going to talk about today
I destroyed my YouTube music algorithm by researching quite the same topic that we're about to talk.
Oh, nice!
Fuck yeah!
Right now, yeah.
Well, that's probably a good time to introduce you, Dan. Returning guest, Dan Boeckner of Wolf Parade. I believe you've done work with Arcade Fire. You're doing production stuff now. What else are you working on?
That's a good question. Wolf Parade has got a busy ass year because of the gay hockey show. So I mean,
that's right. You got some new fans from that, right?
We got some heat happening, and it's actually fucking awesome because I grew up in a very small town in rural Canada, in rural British Columbia. And all of my friends were weirdos, goths, metalheads, a lot of queer kids. And we would constantly get beaten up by hockey players or guys who had peaked in their teens in hockey, 10 years older than us, would just stomp us. And now the fact that most people associate hockey with being gay
it's
feels
really good.
Awesome.
Total cultural victory.
Yes.
It's a shame, though, when the actual hockey players, as we saw fairly recently with the Olympics, tend to really like Donald Trump and people in the Epstein files. They don't really care about that stuff. And then I saw a lot of people upset finding out that all of the hockey players aren't gay men, which that is really disappointing. They should all be gay men.
It is disappointing. Yeah. It's extremely disappointing. But I think a good knock-on effect is women going to hockey games holding up signs saying "Open the boy aquarium." You know, it's I'm for that. I'm for it, and I love this. I fucking love the show. So, Wolf Parade's got a bunch of shows. We were already planning a tour, but it's just kind of ballooned. And Arcade Fire is on hiatus right now, and I'm doing a bunch of production work. So, and I have another solo record almost in the can. So I'm working.
Awesome.
My God, you're busy.
Yeah.
Speaking of hockey, so the Cash Patel controversy for the Olympics, I thought that was all just performative. He's just being a nerd. I didn't know that he actually did coach and enjoy hockey. Because come on, fuck off. You're telling me that guy's a hockey guy?
Wait, what do you mean he coached? What do you mean he's a coach? For what?
Cash Patel used to coach high school hockey.
I would not want my kid getting coached by that guy.
It's funny. There's this kid on TikTok that was like, "No, dude, he was my coach, and I hate his ass now, but he was actually normal and a good coach." It's God damn it, dude.
I wonder what happened. Sucks. I wonder what happened to Cash Patel. I mean, I'm sure someone knows where it's been written about, but
ask his long distance girlfriend.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit bet,
constantly seems like he's been teleported into a situation he doesn't quite understand.
His wide eyes, he's always being shocked with tasers at all times. Yeah.
Did you guys see his fucking Nikes, his custom Cash Patel Nikes?
No, what do you mean his custom Nikes?
Yeah, dude, he got custom Nikes, and they have, just Google it while I'm explaining this, and you at home also Google this if you have the ability to, because they're so bad. They have the Punisher like skull on them?
No. Fuck that.
They're so ugly.
No, dude. Oh,
he's like,
God. What does it say on the
them?
back? Integrity? What does that say?
Yeah, it's like the FBI motto. It's like integrity something or other, and then it has like his personal slogan on it, which is cash something. I don't know.
The Punisher. It is. It literally is the Punisher symbol. He really was like, I gotta put that shit on my shoes. Holy fuck.
Awful, dude.
Loser shit for a grown ass man. Absolute child behavior.
Why?
Awful.
It's never this current administration cycles between, and maybe they're very linked, but the soy, right? They're very soy, but they're also school shooter vibes. Everything they like talk about and post online is like, I could see a school shooter or like a mass shooter posting something like this.
Their meme, like contrasting like the meme game of like the Iranian military, and who are now memeing at a level like much higher.
Oh my God!
I don't know if you guys saw the Lego movie short film that they made.
I did see that. Yeah.
Oh man. And then you've got the Department of Defense doing like terrorgram like Adam Waffen style shit, but with Wii Sports. It's like fucking. It's like you said, it's just constantly oscillating between soy right and Order of Nine Angles, like
school shooter chic.
Yeah. They used to call it Fesh Wave.
Whoever runs that account for the White House is like planning to attack some small town municipality's like water supply.
They captured him. Like, you know how the FBI will groom shooters. Like there's that thing that the FBI tends to do. They just groom them just to run their socials now.
Exactly. they're grooming 12-year-olds on a Discord, being like, "You think this is epic, don't you? All your friends think it's epic."
It's the catch me if you can thing. He's forced to work for the government because he was too good at grooming teens.
Yeah, exactly.
I see you're really active in video game forums. You'd be perfect for us.
Yeah. We caught you, but now you have to work for us.
I love playing Roblox with you.
Wait, you guys were talking about, before we get into the MAGA stuff, because I don't know, man. Usually when we do this, I'm like, when are we getting to the fireworks factory? I'm kind of having the opposite feeling this time. I don't want to.
The fireworks factory in this case is going to blow up with you in it, and it's going to be an unpleasant experience.
Exactly. But you were talking about some funny music news stuff before we started. Can we hit that first before we get to the vegetables?
Please.
Yeah. So you guys all know who Moby is, right?
Yeah, friend of the show.
Friend of the pod, Moby. A little background on Moby. Moby, probably the least vindicated guy in the Woodstock 99 documentary. Owner of 2 failed vegan restaurants that are out of business. And I think went out of business before COVID. Famously also bizarrely unprompted lied in his autobiography about having a relationship with Natalie Portman.
Why would you lie about that?
Wasn't she underage in the
She
he like lied about being a pedophile?
He lied about being a pedophile for clout. And she was like, actually, none of this ever happened, which Moby should have been stoked about because it exonerates him from a federal crime. But
it's not every day. It's not every day that you get like reverse pedophile allegations that get turned down.
But he's like, no, that's how I remember it. I remember fucking underage Natalie Portman.
I did that shit.
I did it.
Do either of you guys know, by the way, because like my entire life, Moby's never been like, he's always been a punchline, right? Where did he come from? Who's he for? What the fuck? I just don't understand Moby.
He was a hardcore guy.
He was a hardcore guy?
Yeah, I think his first record is like kind of vegan straight edge hardcore, and then more into electronic music, and then he did a kind of like what would you call it? Like a reverse Alan Lomax with his big hit Play, with a bunch of quote unquote ethnic music that he didn't. I don't think he cleared any of those samples. I might be wrong, but yeah, that was some real 90s shit. And now
Gwen Stefani was featured in that one. Is that one?
On Play. Play was there was a time when play was like inescapable.
I just remember one of his music videos, there was like a woman licking his head, and I saw that when I was a kid, and I was like, this sucks a lot.
Yeah, he kind of invented like car commercial music, basically. Big influence on the Israeli Goa trance scene. So, it's like play was like the Buzzcocks show, but in reverse. Everyone heard it, and a handful of people started a band. But so a couple of days ago, he had what I would call a extremely softball, like this guy is still alive interview. I'm not even sure like what he's promoting. So they have questions like first single you ever bought, song you do at karaoke. Like I don't know why the Guardian is doing this, but one of the questions was the song I can no longer listen to, and what he said was, Lola by the Kinks came up on a Spotify playlist, and I thought the lyrics were gross and transphobic.
What? Transphobic?
I like their early music. But I was really taken aback by how unevolved the lyrics are. So I think this was an attempt for him to sort of connect with what he perceives as like a woke millennial. You know, like he's just trying to get into the zeitgeist.
Yeah, this is like a pure distillation of like woke one, or like original woke, like 2010s woke, where it's like, oh, you can't even you can't have a straight guy sing about trans people in a positive way because that's transphobic. Like Lola is like notably like a very loving song for trans people. Like it's a great song. It's not transphobic. It's crazy. He's like Dave Davies of the Kinks is notably, I would say, one of the like oldest living trans allies, like who's like very explicit about that. Like he is so obviously a trans ally. He's amazing. He's great.
Yeah. So Dave Davies, trans ally that he is, immediately shot back and was like, you are a moron. And he came armed with a letter from the still living Jane County, like basically Jane saying, you know, when I was young, this song meant a lot to me and really helped me solidify my own identity. And then that was kind of backed up by all these testimonials from different trans artists, and people started finally remembering the Cockettes, which was a group of trans people that he was, the Kinks were touring. I mean, it turned into this beautiful thing. But a friend of mine named Lex Walton, who is in Castration Film, and whose upcoming record I'm producing, she ripped an amazing cover of Lola, and he saw it and was like, this is awesome. He actually sent her like a personal thank you video, which I thought was really cute.
The thing I really like about Dave Davies, and for context, this is a little old then. I don't even know if we were like even mutuals at the time, but like 4 years ago now, it was like 2022. I just made like a throwaway joke about, oh, there's a band called the Kinks. What's happening to our society these days? And Dave Davies saw that and got like really upset. He thought like he doesn't process.
I remember that.
He like started posting about me. Yeah, okay, we were. And he just was like, he's so earnest. He's so
82
there's no
years old. Too.
Yeah,
so
he is.
There's that.
But he is one of the most earnest, and like he has no shred of like, he doesn't know what irony is at all. No. He is just all like heart on his sleeve, just like a genuine fucking guy. And I felt like so bad after. I was like, I made this man very upset. Like he's a great I love the Kinks, and he's like mad at me, calling me purple pudding penis and shit. He's insulting me. And I'm like, I love this guy.
Remember that, dude.
That's amazing. I would that's actually a really good bit for like right now to get into the MAGA rock, is just be like, there's a band called the Kinks that's like,
I could just do it again. I can see what happens.
That's not based.
But no, so 2 years ago I went to New York, and I was hanging out with some people I knew out there, and they're like, we're gonna go to a Lex Walton show, and she is so fucking talented. I'm really excited to see what her new album is going to be, because I was so fucking impressed with what I witnessed at that show of like 30 people.
I mean, I can't say anything about the songs because they're not recorded. Like, we just have demos. but I can't say the demos are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And one of them is I can't spill the beans. I can't spill the beans, but it's gonna be good. It's me and Ben Greenberg from Uniform, which is a band I absolutely love producing, and then we've got a cast of supporting characters. And over the last 4 months, just getting to know Lex has, no joke, just like rejuvenated my excitement and love of just pure bedroom creation for music, like the will to bring something into existence and just make yourself smile. You know,
she's been one of those musicians where it's like once people like find out about her, she sort of like underscores. I don't know if you're familiar with the underscores. Yeah. She's one of those people that's like when she gets discovered, she will blow up. I feel like not to wish cast too hard, but I think she is also one of those talents where it's like if something just snaps, it'll be off to the races.
Yeah. You touched on something that I've been it's been swimming around in my mind a little bit, Dan. Of just like different types of art that are powerful and create what you said, creating something in your bedroom, right? There's something beautiful about that, especially if you grew up as a musician and something that you wrote some shitty chords that maybe your friend would hear and it's the same as anything else, but you were the person that came up with them in that moment at that time and they were groundbreaking to you, and that was that. Or something as simple as that, or like even singing in the shower or beating on your steering wheel when you're drumming along to some music that you like. Those kinds of artistic creation, despite the fact that they're not heard by many, if any, people, are extremely human and powerful. And they're completely and totally antithetical to the MAGA Rap movement that are created, such as they are, specifically within a closed loop to piss off as many people as possible.
Yes. Yeah, I fully agree with you. And I mean, I can bring this up now or later, but like there's this, I'll keep it short, but right-wing music and art in America, there's a reason why those guys fucking love AI. Those are like they're the only people that like using AI for their art, for music. They're pulling down, like royalty-free stems. Like a lot of the MAGA stuff, you listen to it and it's just like, oh, that's from Splice, or, like it's the laziest way to create, as if the act of creation is, like something to be disdained because it's kind of gay. That's just like my take on it.
Yearning is a little gay, but it's that's part of the process.
Yeah. But I mean, just today, Rolling Stone magazine, this guy, I forget his name. I probably shouldn't call him out, but like Rolling Stone magazine published this credulous article about Suno and Mickey Schulman.
We talked about Suno, yeah.
And you guys, I'm sure, remember Mickey Schulman's insane quote of just basically that taking the time to learn an instrument and to be creative and come up with an idea is ableist because not everyone, some people are too lazy to do that, basically. So Rolling Stone published this long-ass article using Mickey Schulman as pretty much the only source, being like, guess what? Everyone loves Suno, and everyone is using it.
See, I just can't help but see shit like that and be like, okay, how much money did they get paid to run this advertisement? Because there's nothing behind these things. There's nothing. There's no like there are Suno communities, I guess, like on Reddit maybe, but that's like,
sure.
I don't know. You can collect 100 people in a room, and you don't have to report on every single room with 100 people in it, right?
Yeah, and I work at various levels in the music industry. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I have never once been in a room with a producer or a musician, and they've been like, "Hey, do you think we should use Suno on this track?" Or you know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening.
Hit a brick wall. I'm gonna go see what Suno's got.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked about a little bit of MAGA Rap on here before. But Dan, what's your experience with this? When did it first come on your radar?
I think It wasn't so much rap as a sort of Trump one guy named John Acapinti, who's like a 85-year-old man that lives in Arizona, and he plays. He writes these songs on like this antiquated piece of music software. I think we figured it out. We covered him a lot on Fortune Kit. Then we figured it out what software it was. I can't remember, but it's like a very basic multi-tracker with some built-in sort of pitch correction effects. And he uses a big like workstation keyboard, like the kind of thing you'd see a guy on a cruise ship or a mentally ill person busking using. But John, I mean, for me, John represents like the purity of that movement, which is just cranking these unlistenable songs out and singing with this horrible raspy voice. And he had a whole series of songs about Goya products. Like, I don't know if you remember
that, the Goya.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Goya beats are great, you know. Like, he had a song called "Cops for Trump." So I think that
he was a visionary for this movement, for this like type of political music.
Yeah. But
he really him and Baked Alaska were the two originators.
That's right.
Oh God,
he really meant it. And then I heard Formaggio Blow, and some of those kind of like some of the stuff are in and around that orbit. And that music is, I mean, it's impossible to listen to. There's nothing good about it. It's grifter music. You know,
it exists for the sake of like existing as political propaganda, and of course, like probably the stuff that you mentioned, what was his name? Picamenti?
John Acapinti.
I've not come across this guy.
I highly recommend everybody go check out John Acapinti right now.
But it's like these like guys like Tom McDonald, I think is especially in this Trump term, I think especially is like super representative of like what this music is as propaganda. Caleb, I forget what the song name was, but I remember you posted a month ago.
Oh, when he switched to pop punk?
Yeah, he does like pop punk now, and it's just like, oh my
bad.
Fucking,
like
it
really,
sounds
really
AI
bad
generated.
AI, yeah, like it
I
was.
love it.
It was. So
I literally
bad.
played it out loud, and I was with my girlfriend when I was playing it out loud. I didn't prompt what it was. I was just like, check out this song. It's a new song by a new right-wing song. I played it out loud and she was like, oh, that's like a weird AI song. And I'm like, no, that's like a real guy, theoretically. I think he's real. I think he's a real guy playing an actual instrument, maybe. But she like couldn't comprehend that it was like an actual song by a human that was like, that exists in this world that made that song.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of gets to what you were saying before is like, they're like, I think the reason ultimately is like they don't like the act of actually creating. They don't necessarily enjoy it. What they care about is like what they can do with it as a product or like as a political agenda. Yeah. They're
outwardly just so much to the like. I mean, it's almost farcical. There's that I McDonald. Speaking of him, that song that featuring Ben Shapiro. Facts.
I forgot about
that's
that
the
one.
most commercially successful one of the genre, and it includes like a sample of Ben Shapiro saying rap is not a legitimate form of art in the song, and it's their biggest hit.
That's awesome.
Come on, dude.
Isn't Cash Patel's part like is somebody associated with him? Somebody went and saw is like a Christian sort of right wing singer. Am I remembering that right? Didn't he take some flight somewhere and he was like, I have to go see this woman?
Oh, I know he's been taking flights. He's been using FBI assets to go do stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to talk about this because when we did first of all, it was also, how long ago was that, June? 3 or 4 years ago?
Almost 3.5 years ago when we first broached this topic. It was a different world. It was Biden.
Oh, man.
And it was sort of like we were like sort of at that point we
dorks.
were, and it was like,
surely
these are in the
bad
past.
will happen because of these guys, right?
yeah. And it was sort of like we're done with that. This is probably in the past. And obviously look at where we're at now. They're well, maybe not these days, but they felt like they were stronger than ever just fairly recently.
Yeah. They still, but like you said, Caleb, like there's only been one quote unquote hit. And I think the thing that, besides the indignity of having to create the product to get to the main part of it, which is getting clicks, or whatever, besides besides that, they don't have a stranglehold on popular culture. They can't, you know?
Yeah.
Like they can't do it. And I think that's like the thing that I think that probably makes that movement more angry than like Iran. You know, like if they could do Karg Island on Los Angeles, they would fucking they would do it. If they could do it, they'd do it.
They would fucking do it. No, I had a realization. It was specifically with the Turning Points USA halftime show. It like really clicked in my mind. Maybe it's not a unique or new thought, but it like really hit me where it's like, oh, every piece of art they create only exists and is only created in spite of mainstream culture. Nothing they do can exist without the mainstream culture to because juxtapose itself.
It's a tumor on the industry. I mean, quite literally. I don't know how else to describe it.
It's reactionary art. Like if they're not coming up with anything themselves, they're reacting to something. So it's
yeah. I mean, I was trying to come up with like something that's analogous to this type of music that wasn't intellectually lazy, like, you know, Third Reich propaganda music, which is unfortunately somewhat true. But I guess the closest thing that I could really think of is like how like contemporary Christian music exists also in a vacuum, sort of. There's a lot of parallels between how Christian music was formed and how just kind of, despite, you know, Christianity being, you know, the majority religion in the United States, you know, especially back when it was in its inception and stuff, not being able to really breach the mainstream. So they kind of created their own alternate architecture to, you know, they had their own awards, they had their own charts and things like that to sort of, you know, bolster this industry because it exists in the same sense that MAGA music does, is to evangelize. You know what I mean? It doesn't exist to make music. The music is secondary or peripherally, even tertiary, when you think about the order of importance of things. So, you know, that's just something that we didn't really talk about, and the finances behind it, and then the reason that it exists, we didn't really talk about. So we did that episode right when that the Targeting Your Kids song came out, right?
It was like right at the start of the like real trans hysteria in 2022. It was like right before, or maybe it was even during, but the Dylan Mulvaney hysteria is like right in that like actual that huge peak in transphobic discourse on the right, when that like really became a centerpiece for them.
And they had existed, you know, prior to that, but not like in the same sense. Like that was kind of like their arrival. You all of a sudden, it's like, why does this guy with the PS3 beard like talking about Target on my TV or whatever? You know what I mean? Where did this come from? And then you realize you kind of, you know, I tried really fucking hard, and I'm going to show my work for some of this. It's very obvious that this is just AstroTurf to hell, and we'll talk about how the billboard works and stuff, and I'm sure Dan, you have some thoughts on that. But like Forgiato in particular, like Roger Stone, when I first saw during that, this 3 years ago when we did this, why is Roger Stone in this guy's music video? That I have like
that's a
prey
great
on the Serengeti, like my hairs are standing up on the back of my neck. Roger Stone's involved. Something's not right here. Well, it turns out that this, I can't prove direct funding or anything, but it's very quite obviously an op. We now know that it's, Roger Stone through the Proud Boys, his name is Jacob Engels, who's like their propagandist. He's a journalist, supposedly, was the first guy to start like writing about Forgiato, you know what I mean, in the Central Florida Post, a Gateway Pundit, wherever else he was writing back in the day, who props this guy up and who we know now that was controlling Roger Stone's social media through court depositions and stuff like that.
What?
Okay.
So it's not really hard to figure out that, like, okay, the most famous PSYOP guy in human history is behind this guy with the PS3 beard. And like, you find out that the amount, like, you know, what they did is they kind of blunt force purchased their way into a mainstream credibility such as it is by, you know, buying, instead of like getting lots of streams or a radio play or anything like that, they just bought, we did the math, it would have cost like $20,000 to get to number one on iTunes that week. We did the math last time, which, you know, in conservative pervert money is nothing.
That's a fucking drop in there, in that bucket.
That's fuck you money, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing that Tom McDonald and Ben Shapiro. I actually pulled some stats here, because the thing is, like, the Forge Out a Blow didn't, as far as that Target song never got on the Billboard. It just was the number one on iTunes. The Facts one with Ben Shapiro and Tom MacDonald actually did. Tom MacDonald's been on the Billboard Hot 100 3 times, although that was his only one that was, like, not towards the bottom. It was number 16 for 1 week. And Dan, you may have some thoughts on this, but as I understand it, to get onto the Billboard, you have to do, it's a weighted algorithm of 3 things. That's physical purchases or, downloads. It's streams, and then it's radio play.
Yeah. Many people in the last 15 years have tried to, once Billboard opened itself up to counting streams and digital purchases as, weighting towards putting you on the chart, many people have tried to game the system. Drake specifically,
What was he doing? Was he just botting
he's in some court case over this right now. Basically,
what is his life?
It's something to do with when the Kendrick diss track came out. He had some kind of sports betting thing that was also trying to juice streams on his side.
Jesus Christ!
I think it was DJ Khaled had a really interesting one where if you bought like a certain type of soda, it counted. He had a back end deal where it counted as X amount of streams with digital purchases. Yeah,
he's so awesome.
Yeah, just good shit like that. Good normal shit reflecting what people enjoy listening to.
The economy is really normal right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the economy's normality definitely extends to the world of music in many different ways. And one of those ways is the charts are like, I think the top of the charts, like Billboard, you can't really fake that. And there's another larger conversation to have about, and it's an old conversation about, record labels just basically ramming something down somebody's, the public's throat until they're like, we love it.
Yay.
Everybody loves Suno. I love Moby. Everyone can't wait for Moby. But it's nice. It's nice to see whenever that gets broken. Like, I think stuff like Geese becoming so popular is so exciting to people in the music industry because they didn't, Machiavelli it into existence.
Yeah,
it was like real groundswell around them. And that is like sort of the weird thing in so like whenever these like MAGA musicians tend to, when they had their moment in the sun, I distinctly remember the social media in particular, and of course it's a closed loop ecosystem, so of course a lot of the right wingers were going to do this, where it's like, wow, have you seen Forge Out a Blow and Ben Shapiro, they're trending on the Apple iTunes charts, and it's like, oh, like buying songs on iTunes, the thing that like no one fucking does.
Nobody does. Well, let me give you some data here. Are either of you familiar with what Luminate is?
No.
It's like a data aggregate thing specifically for music. It's how like part of how Billboard gets its information. It's really hard. So I was trying very hard to kind of prove my homework of like, well, these streams are like, the streams don't count, and you can obviously tell that some of this is botted, but it's mostly coming down to physical sales or digital downloads or whatever. Right. And it's a very expensive platform that doesn't just give it to anybody, and you can't, so I was only able to get this information based on what other journalists had posted, but I was able to find Luminate data for the same week. To be fair, another song that debuted on the Billboard as a week 1 hit, which was Megan Thee Stallion's Hiss. That was also that same week. Okay. It was the number 1. It had roughly the same amount of downloads in the first week that Facts ever had in its entire existence.
Like in
about 100,000. Yeah. So 100,000 downloads versus Tom MacDonald's 96 lifetime. And then if you look at this interesting thing here, Tom MacDonald's song had about 5.5 million streams, whereas Megan Thee Stallion's in the first week had about 30 million. So you're talking about downloads per stream. She has, for every one purchase, she's got about 300 streams, a little under 300, whereas Tom MacDonald has about 50. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's quite literally 5 times difference. So you can kind of get the point here. What I'm trying to get at is this is very obviously like, oh, sure, Ben Shapiro will throw $100,000 at your song to be trending and get on the Billboard charts for his little joke that rap isn't a valid form of art, right?
Maybe it's that, maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe it's that liberals, libs don't really support artists after all. They just want to stream it for free. And it's the right wingers who are like, they're going to the show, they're buying the first 7-inch, they're buying the back patch, they buy every fucking zine on the table because they support the scene,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the thing that right wingers are definitely known for.
Spending money on and helping people out. Yeah.
But no, that is, it feels so artificial. And like, I mean, you have bands like, do you like compared to like streaming, do people go on iTunes and buy shit?
Like
iTunes, 20 years ago, that's a different question, maybe.
Yeah.
But.
So, I mean, the reason I still have a career in music, I think personally, is because Wolf Parade, like my first band came up, or my first, real band that wasn't a crust punk band, came up at a time that it was a perfect moment when people were buying physical copies of albums, but also wanted to have them on their iPod, and Pitchfork was there to talk about it all. And file sharing existed with like Kazaa and LimeWire, but contrary to what like fucking Paul Banks says in Meet Me in the Bathroom, where he's like, Interpol could have been YouTube, but file sharing killed us. I think that's absolute bullshit. I think, and I've talked to other people from like the same era. Like I've talked to Britt from Spoon about this a lot, which is file sharing allowed people in remote places to access your entire album, and then they would come to the show and buy it.
And that makes sense.
That was definitely my experience with Wolf Parade. That's why we were selling any tickets in like Tucson, Arizona, like when we only had an EP out.
Yeah, I mean, especially, like when I was a child, I would like download shit to listen to. And now that I am like in the last 10 years in my adulthood, I still love some of these bands. I go to the shows, I buy the records, I buy, like that. It has that downstream effect. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, as for streaming, like, I mean, iTunes purchases like really, really dropped off, and then it just became streaming. And lately there's like a huge uptick in people buying vinyl. Bandcamp is really helpful too. But the funny thing about streaming is like Wolf Parade is now streaming, has 2.1 million listeners a month, which is
thank
hilarious.
You, Heated Rivalries.
Yeah. Thank you, Heated Rivalry. And for most of the last half decade, when I put a record out, people have been like, all right, well, hopefully the thing will happen where, all the streams start coming, you have a viral moment. And then it did happen. And I was like, all right, guys, what does this mean in terms of dollars? And they were like, we don't know. And they still don't. And it's not their fault that they don't know.
That's crazy.
But and when it started, we were like, what does this mean in terms of ticket sales? And people were like, we don't know.
Holy shit.
I think we're in a good enough position that like there's enough people. We've never had a drop off in audience. We've just like decided not to tour for years at a time, but this has definitely helped sell tickets. So I don't know. It's really fucked up out there. People still want to go to shows. They want to buy tickets, but they don't want to be gouged by resellers or
oh my god, Live Nation, Ticketmaster, all that shit. Yeah,
algorithmic pricing. They don't want that. They want they don't necessarily even want a frictionless experience anymore. I feel like they just want to have a physical object they can hold in their hand and be in a room with people and watch music. That's
nothing
really
better than that.
Yeah.
Also, notice right wingers. I've never noticed or seen a right winger post about Bandcamp Fridays. I think that says everything you need to know about their little movement.
The right-wing stuff on Bandcamp is so like, I mean, the right-wing stuff on Bandcamp is like some Polish guy who's got some, it's a acoustic black metal album he recorded in his basement about phrenology. That's where, God. That's the right-wing content over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about of like why this genre such as it is such an abomination. Have either of you heard of the book Black Noise, written in the early mid 90s by Trisha Rose?
No.
It's about it's legendary. It's like the first book that like really chronicled like the rise of rap and hip hop, and it talks a lot about how like urban aesthetics and just the Black experience is so ontologically built into rap music because of where it came from in that moment in time. You have redlining, you have all this horrible crime going on, all these ways that Black people are getting structurally and economically fucked over. That like it's very part and parcel of the music for that to happen, and that's why Blackness itself is so intrinsically tied into the genre, more so than like the aesthetics of maybe any other genre in history, maybe jazz. I don't know. You guys have thoughts on that, but like you have that, and then I was reading that book in preparation for a different kind of episode I thought we'd be having on this, and then Forgetto Blow released a song just like 2 weeks ago. I mean, they release songs like 300 songs every year. It's like, it's ridiculous.
They're cranking on Suno. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yes. If you see his documentary, by the way, yes, that's exactly what they're doing. Well, Suno didn't exist at that time that came out. But yeah, it's like that time they're just using whatever royalty free shit that they can get their hands on and just posting this stuff every day.
He's just doing the same thing Soulja Boy is doing,
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. But they do it like in conjunction with like, it's kind of like, it's literally is kind of like the Iranian Lego rap disc. It's like he's doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of the human resources meme. Like when Iran does it, I'm like, oh, sweet. Before Blow does it, I need to call human resources.
Yes.
But anyway, that's all to say that I was reading that book. And then he drops a single called White N-Word, but he doesn't say N-Word. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, dude.
So he's doing a Patti Smith Motor City 5.
Yes. The song is all about how he should be able to say it. And he's been living the life of how he perceives Black people live his entire life. And
just like Ian MacKaye on the Minor Threat's first record when he wrote the song Guilty of Being White.
It's the same thing, dude.
It is a song on the record. I love Fugazi, but yeah.
Or when Fat Mike, Don't Call Me White, that one. One sticks.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Pretty bad.
Didn't Real Big Fish do a cover of that song? Am I remembering? They did a Don't Call Me White cover. I'm pretty sure. But like that, I feel like is like the perfect summation though of like, especially like right-wing content as a whole. It's perfect for the music scene, but like they have to keep escalating where they're going. Like 3 years ago, it's like, oh, we're gonna say tranny on this song because that's like the edgy thing to do then. And now it's like I should be able to say really like words that I will not even say on this song. Like I won't say it, but I should get to say it.
Yeah,
and it's like,
that's the word I'm thinking of. But
yeah, and it's like that's sort of really all they have. Like it's about the reaction. I mean, it's reactionary agenda, of course, but it only exists in context to the thing that they're reacting to, and it will only ever be that. They will never just have like a breakout. Tom McDonald will never start selling out stadiums because he's just such a darn good musician, like that will quite literally never happen because that can't happen for him. That just won't. Yeah. Or like fucking the TPUSA, who's the guy that Kid Rock that they always seem to love pushing out every fucking year for some reason.
Yeah, Kid Rock is kind of the modern day Ted Nugent in a weird way. Like He's a truly sad figure, And it's like these guys put these songs out, like, but there's nothing. They're never going to be in the cultural zeitgeist at large because there's nothing for people to hold on to with them. Mm-hmm. They'd almost be better in like tweet form, Or it's like the music equivalent of the front-facing dash cam guy yelling thing,
It's the perfect evolution of that. It really is.
And
like truck.
Yeah, and like why put that to music? We've already like that form is already ascended to its perfect being. You know, like why bother make a fucking rap song, dude?
Like the perfect one is that guy like praying to Trump.
Yes.
The police
are
beating down his window. Oh God!
It's because they want to be part of culture and they can't do it because they suck at aesthetics and being creative and capturing people's imaginations.
And it's even more than that, Caleb. To your point, bringing up I forget the name of the book, but I like about how a lot of music that came out of Black communities, especially like this book's topic, rap. It's like it's talking about a shared experience, like a life, a time, something that like something in their life that is really relatable, or just their art is downstream of that. Like art that is downstream of MAGA musicians is like, oh, they want to just like fish. And like woke is getting in the way of that. Like, what do you fucking mean? That is like, it means nothing to me. That means nothing.
I just want to drink my beer.
Yes, it's so funny.
I want to fly some fish, drive my truck, drink some beer.
No one's saying you can't do those things. I do those things all the time, dude.
You're allowed to do it. Dark. We haven't assembled Zoran Mamdani's gender neutral dark woke Gestapo yet. You know,
I can't wait to get liquidated in that.
The fucking pink guard has not been politically educated. Yeah. But the rap thing is interesting. I was just thinking that, like, okay, yeah, so this Forgiato Blows stuff, whatever, it doesn't have any cross-cultural, it doesn't have anything to draw you in. Whereas very specific lyrical topic stuff, community stuff that people like Wu-Tang Clan were talking about was so compelling narratively and musically that people on Vancouver Island were like, damn, Cream, yes, it really is all about the money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's this like rarefied cultural experience that is for its own community was so goddamn good that everybody like every kid with a baseball hat in Victoria, British Columbia was like, damn, protect your neck. Yes. Let's go.
And that's sort of the thing is it's like conservatives love to talk about, and like these MAGA musicians, how mainstream culture is exclusionary. It really isn't. Like if you're normal, it's not exclusionary. There's nothing if you're normal, if you like exist around other people and are normal. This is not even
to say, by the way, that conservative people don't make art or that conservative people don't listen to art. But when it's explicitly conservative, you know, then it's something else and it sucks.
It's choosing to intentionally be exclusionary. And that is the entire point of it, is that it is like exclusionary, which is like it's in inverse of what art I feel like should be doing. Like art on its surface is to, like, I guess a bare assessment of art is that you want people to think, sure, but that's not what like MAGA musicians are doing. They're telling you what they think, and then it's just downstream. Everyone starts to think that they are targeting your kids. Yeah, that's right. Target. We got to go blow up a Target.
Yeah, you're supposed to be communicating a human experience that, you know, something that you're having emotionally, intellectually, physically, communicating that to another human being in a way that that makes them feel something.
Yeah.
You know? That's like that's a bottom level of it.
And I think that's why rap in particular, it was so successful, just mainstream. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, it's just they can't do it. Like I've watched the Facts video so many times, and I'm just like,
you got to bet that.
I don't. Yes, yeah. It's actually I had it. You know, it was Arcade Fire's walk on and walk off music for a long time. Personally, I was like, guys, we got to stop doing the David Bowie Sound and Vision thing. No one cares anymore.
It's all about facts.
It's about facts. But yeah, I mean, that's just it. It's like they're not communicating anything. And if they are communicating a human experience, to receive it, if you're normal, is to be like, ugh, disgusting. I don't want to fucking feel afraid of everything, or like
not for nothing, but like Tom McDonald trots out fucking Roseanne Barr for a feature in one of his songs. You remember that shit?
I forgot about that. Oh god, he gets the best features, man. These right-wing musicians. Oh, I don't even. I'll be honest. I didn't listen to that shit. What was it? A pop punk song? What was it? Was she rapping?
The Roseanne one? No, she raps, dude.
I'm gonna splice that just what we all wanted.
They try to cancel me and say that I'm a racist. Got a mean hook. They can't get me with that jam. Trying to take away my right to go and say this. Well, listen up, cause this gun is going bad. With the facts. Why they trying to turn Becky into Dan? You get
what we all wanted.
Roseanne. That's terrible.
But that's like how all of this is. Like Gina Carano in weird Daily Wire movie for some reason. Like that. Like, and it's just her and like Ben Shapiro's cousins as the other actors. It's like, what is this project? What is this?
Yeah. Well, I just don't. I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask you guys a question, like an open question, which is, I've had this theory for a while that, like, and it was only previously for op-ed writers that, like, somebody like David Frum or Brett Stevens, you know,
two close friends of mine,
like a good, you know, I think a net positive for the world and for them would be to put them in some type of Gulag style, Truman Show style prison.
Yeah.
That had something called Internet 2.0, which would be a walled internet where they could publish their articles and there would be bots and some real people being like, fuck you, David Frum, you should go to The Hague. That would be the bot version of me. Be like, I hope you and your family fall into a wood chipper, Dan Boeckner, you know? And then other people who are just like, right on, Brett, I love you. Like, good point about Iran.
Yeah, we should bomb them all.
Like, and that would satisfy two needs. One, to get them off the street, and two, for them to be able to do this thing that they feel compelled to do. But maybe if we allowed the current American administration and their sort of Renfields and goblins to just let them kind of take over media, but we don't have to watch it, that they think everybody's watching it, that they wouldn't do shit like deploy ICE or go on a murder-suicide pact into Iran with Israel, you know?
We need to create the torture cube.
Yeah, dude.
The torture cube, but it's good. It's good.
They love the torture cube.
It's torturous for them, but they don't know it.
It's torturous for them, but they don't know it. Yeah.
But we view them. We get to.
It's like when they put those VR goggles on cows.
Because like that's the thing is like I mean that is really what they desire. People like Brett Stevens, David Frum, all these people thrive on being yelled at by people they don't even have strong feelings about. They just like thrive on being yelled at in these ecosystems all the time. Yeah, that would I think save humanity. I think if we built the cube.
Dan, I just have to say I love the idea of you volunteering to upload yourself into the torment nexus to be like the opposition.
I love it. If there was a Canadian only torment nexus, I would be like, yes, sir. David Frum, whatever that fucking
become the ghost in the machine.
that fucking Canadian troglodyte Park McDougland, Namco baseball last name guy.
Oh
God.
All those guys, and I'd be in there with them. They'd be like, it is reality. This guy in a moderately successful band is still yelling at us for some reason. You know, I would be like the reality anchor. I'd be like, what's his fucking band? Wolf Mother? Like, isn't that guy canceled?
Yeah,
like
David Frum spinning his top in Inception, and it's just you calling him names.
It's like, you're a little bitch. You look like you got stung by 1,000 bees.
But that's ultimately what they want, though. Like in reality, that's what they genuinely that's what they're building. They led up to this point that I think sort of collapsed. I think, of course, around like the whole Charlie Kirk phenomena, like the assassination. I think it sort of collapsed a lot more than it was.
Just call his assassination a phenomenon.
It was a phenomena. But like
they tried to make it one for sure.
Exactly. And I think like of course the like reaction to that where again, it kind of came down to the like, oh, you have to revere this podcaster, otherwise there will be severe consequences for you. And I think that's sort of where it fell off. But like the idea that like they were creating this parallel ecosystem that's a reaction to the main ecosystem, and to try to like eventually overtake. And I really think TPUSA barely making a fucking blip was the death toll for that fucking like concept. I think that it'll exist. It's not gone, but it will exist and never get anywhere close to where it was like a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this too. They overplayed their hand so badly that like, you know, that Drewski video making fun of Erica Kirk is about to be the most liked video on Twitter in history.
That's insane.
And that is because you fucking pieces of shit. People are literally saying overthrow the government. Now is the time. Night of the Long Knives, fucking seize power or whatever. Subjugate all libs. Like these are things that like influential people were saying for a fucking podcast that they didn't even listen to or like. So yes, now you are the assholes who created the phenomenon, the spectacle of Charlie Kirk's death, and now Drewski did White Chicks 2, and it's like got 1 million likes on Twitter. Congratulations.
Yeah. They'll never win. They can't win because they don't love life. You had to troll that hard. You have to love life. You have to get up in the morning with a smile on your face. You know
exactly. I don't even think that Drewski's like some bastion of like woke ideology. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Drewski, but he did it, and he's like getting tens of millions of views and all over his platforms and shit. And it was so funny to see. Like I don't know. I just don't really know what the. Do they know that they did that? Do they know that they created that moment? Because you still have like Ted Cruz like this is despicable. Do you know that like you did this, and you know that nobody gives a fuck that you're playing the victim card? Like
it's kind of actually. Not to be too controversial, but it does kind of remind me of the sort of just like absolute desiccation of Hasbara in
oh my god
in media.
Yeah.
Like
great
it's
point.
Completely agree.
It's the same thing. It's just like I look at stuff now, you know, like like this insanely. Israel posted, the government of Israel posted this bizarre AI thing that's like half Jerusalem, half Tel Aviv, and it's a woman's head bisected. It's made by AI, and one half of her head has brown hair, and the other half has blonde hair, and it says, "Why not both?" And people are like, okay, this is racist, but we don't know how. kind of, and also
they're truly a European country. They're doing racism people in the Western Hemisphere can't comprehend.
Exactly, they're doing racism at like beyond like Albanian Serb conflict, you know, like and like I don't know. It's just like the reaction to it. That anyone who's not a bot who's reacting to it is like, what in the fuck is this? Fuck you. Like, and also fuck you for all the stuff you did.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what happened? What do you think happened?
What do you mean? We talking about?
It's like you were saying, like with the TPUSA stuff, you can only scream Night of the Long Knives for so long and then be like, why does anybody like us?
No, it is. I think that's a great comparison, especially because like the reaction to just like everything just feels like bots. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like also going insane, but like I made a
substantial amount of it is bots. Substantial. That's a thing we've said on the show a bunch of times. We should continue to say it every time.
Yeah.
Everything that you do, just understand, is not necessarily mediated by bots, but there's a substantial amount of bot activity in everything that we do online now. And that's not a conspiracy. That is just how it is.
And like with that thinking, I go into like I made a post about Harry Potter, the new Harry Potter show, and I was like, hey, if you watch this Harry Potter show, you were giving money to J.K. Rowling, and that she uses that money to fund anti-trans organizations that do anti-trans politics. And there was just like an infinite flood of people I've never fucking seen in my life saying like the same shit, like, wow, now I need to watch the show. Wow, I can't wait. I wasn't going to watch it before, but now I need to. And it's like, okay, these are all like fucking bots. I'm fucking convinced. Like there are bot farms dedicated to
trick
see the shit. Yeah.
I just have to say really quick, I feel so bad for the actor. And it's not funny what's probably going to happen to him, but it is funny that they made Snape black. And then I think Hermione is a brown girl now too. So it's like, it's funny because it's like, who is this show for now? Right? Because you've alienated anybody who gives a shit about a substantial amount of people on the left. Of course, there are going to be some holdouts. They'll watch it without saying much or whatever. But the conservatives were never going to pick this up anyway. And now you've just blown that option out of the water entirely because you've race swapped or whatever that they're so pissed off about. And I frankly think that is very funny. Again, not for what's going to happen to the actors involved, because that's going to suck. We've seen that happen in play
The
out.
Last Jedi, the actor, like hysteria around those actors for that movie was bad. It's going to be really fucking bad. That. Yeah, it's going to be really fucking bad for this.
Maybe it's for, white, sort of capital L liberal TERFs on Turf Island, but there's not a lot of them comparatively. Like, they don't really make up a huge slice of the global media consumption market.
And you can tell when they're the ones that are mad at you because they throw in yous and things that seem like insults you've never heard before. So it's always easy to clock a British.
And they'll call Twitter Zitter with an X, I think, too. That's a pretty big tell.
Is that a British tell? I haven't noticed that. I've seen some of that, but I've
like
not.
a sort of like a older lib transphobic thing that I've noticed. It's like the Inglourious Bastards 3 thing. If you call Elon Elmo or say Zitter, I know what you are.
Right. Right. You're right. Oh my God. It's kind of like making like any of the NAFO people that haven't killed themselves yet.
Don't say that too loud. They're still after me, dude.
They've been on your trail. They were after me last week because I reposted in response to Katya Kallas giving her full-throated support of all 1.3 million Estonians are going to help out America's endeavor in Iran for democracy. Thank you, Katya, one of the most democratic countries in the world.
Every Estonian cannot wait to go die for Israel.
Exactly. Every Estonian is ready to be vaporized on Karg Island, dying of thirst on Karg Island. But like, so I saw that and was like, I just screenshot the very famous, I'm not sure if you guys know it, but the beet and onion slop eating Hungarians who spent 1,000 years polishing the cocks of German horses until being raised to sapience by the USSR.
One of the greatest tweets of all time. I
did not post the follow-up, which is silence Hungarian, your destiny is to be obliterated by a Chinese Dongfeng missile. I just posted it's a photo of a tweet, and there's this guy in Canada named Marcus Kolga who loves to he works at a think tank called the Macdonald-Laurier Institute, whose job it is to take money from the Latvian Ministry of Defense, write a white paper, give that white paper to a moralless journalist, have them publish it, call a parliamentary session, and approve millions of dollars of military hardware from Canada for Latvia. That's his job. It is the shit Ouroboros of Canadian media. And
every time I talk to you, you tell me something insane about Canadian politics I've never even conceived could be possible.
So Canadian media and politics are so porous that it is possible for the Latvian Ministry of Defense to contact Marcus Kolga, an Estonian nationalist, and to basically change Canadian foreign policy. Marcus also has a podcast called Disinfo. Not Disinfo. Is it called Disinfo War? I think it might be called Disinfo War. And it's funded by the Department of Defense of America, a country that has recently threatened to embargo and invade Canada. So, but he likes to call people Russian ops. So I posted this shit, and he was like, unbelievable hate from at Arcade Fire member Dan Boeckner. And then
they're telling on you. They're telling on you to your band.
And then he added Wolf Parade and added CSIS, which is our National Intelligence Service, and Rolling Stone. And the NME. And I was like, brother, if anyone is a foreign agent, like, I literally have receipts of you being paid to work for foreign governments as a Canadian citizen.
Like, you have to fill out your taxes differently than I do, right?
Yeah, like, he has to sign a fucking FARA document, and I play guitar and have opinions about Estonian national policy. Fuck off.
I do like that America has Israel. We are on the fucking balls for Israel, but Canada is on the... Estonia has Canada by the balls. Canada,
Honestly,
Estonia's Canadian, Canada's Israel. That's awesome.
Canada has any country that did the genocide just slightly worse than Germany, and got I'm serious, and got fucking rolled by the Red Army. So like,
oh god,
yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
But yeah, that attracted a lot of NAFO attention for a while, and whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I feel bad for those guys. Like, somebody who wrote a hit piece on me like a couple of years ago, back in 2021, like blew his brains out. I don't think this war, like their war, that encompasses Ukraine and also weirdly supporting Israel for some reason.
Yeah.
And now supporting this war in Iran, like they're fighting a fight that. They're like the Japanese soldier, in the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Ukraine is being sacrificed by the United States for yeah. It's very sad.
And it's like a tragedy. But sorry for going off about that.
Oh no, you're so fine.
Okay.
I think the broader point overall is that there is so much fucking bot activity. Everything is like, especially on the right wing sphere of the internet, everything is propped up by like bots and fake, like pumping money into different narratives and iTunes charts to drive those narratives. I think like there's bot networks that are every fucking where. And then Caleb, thank you for reminding me, because I felt insane watching a lot of discourse online recently, and I'm like, I feel like I'm insane seeing this shit. Like, I feel like this is like bots, but I can't prove it. I have no evidence for that. It just feels weird. But you're right. We've talked about, like, the very first episode of our Switch to Kill the Computer, I think, was sort of about how bot activity
about this. Yeah.
About how bot activity is essentially, it probably already has or set to surpass human activity on the internet.
It has in almost every.
Where do you guys
platform.
see it most? I see it most
Twitter
in
for sure.
Yeah, I see it most on Twitter, and I see it mainly in domestic Canadian political discourse is really, really, like, they're not even trying. And then any Israel-Palestine thing, that's where I see it frequently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen it around a lot of trans narratives, Israel, Palestine, stuff like that. Yeah, just anything that's like really contentious and being used and weaponized by like reactionary governments tend to be those like flashpoints that I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm off of everything but Blue Sky and Reddit.
Reddit.
I'm a Reddit holdout, and unfortunately, I started using.
I'm afraid of Reddit, dude.
Because like I use it for like extremely niche stuff. I talk about football and philosophy and like construction. It's like nothing like I don't go on the front page. I definitely do see it on Reddit. I'm off everything else, so I don't necessarily see it as much, but I do read about it. In fact, I read a really interesting paper. It's called From Texas to Iran, about how propaganda and bot networks work, both pro and anti-American. And it did mention a 67 account cell on Blue Sky that was posting pro-Iran content. And I'm like, I better have some mutuals in there, dude.
Yeah, definitely do.
It's honestly a really good sign for Blue Sky that propaganda networks feel it's worth posting bot networks on Blue Sky. That's actually a great sign for the platform.
I bet they're not posting on
Threads. They got nothing on Threads.
Exactly.
There was zero bot attention on Mastodon. Impossible. Yeah. They would not even conceive of that. Yeah.
I just like that it was very funny because this whole very interesting. I think it was from Clemson. I don't know. I'm going to be going on a different show. I'm going on Workers Lit podcast. We're going to talk about propaganda. That's where I got it from. And I'll link it if anybody's interested. I think that you should. I think it's from Clemson. But the point is like it talks about all these like broad sweeping how these like propaganda networks work. Not necessarily bots explicitly, but definitely includes bots. And then it got to the Blue Sky one, and it's only 67 accounts. So it's like they're there because they have to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really there. It's 67 people.
They're checking a box, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're over the hour. Dan, where can our listeners find you?
All right.
What do you got to plug?
I got so much to plug. You can buy tickets to any upcoming Wolf Parade shows. Mainly restricted to Canada. You can listen to any of my bands. There's Wolf Parade. There's my solo project. Bunch of stuff. You can come listen to me talk about scams and grifts and graft on a podcast with Riley from Trash Future, Hesse from Seeking Derangements, and Charles from episode 1, called Trouble in River City. Or you can come over to my Patreon, where I post demos and sort of song explainers and just general nonsense over there. Just come and hang out. Sometimes I screen movies. And then in the future, Lex Walton's debut EP.
Cool. Very excited. I'm very excited about that.
I am too.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to New York in like 4 days, and that's all I can think about. So I'm very
I hope you make it past TSA and ICE now, I guess, is also there.
Man, okay. Yeah, I was just going to say I live in America, but yeah. Man,
but no, if go on, sorry.
I'm not going to say anything about ICE. All right.
we've already said whatever you were going to say about ICE.
I already got the Estonian nationalists after me. I don't need.
Yeah. Well, if you ever tour with Wolf Parade, I would love to attend one of those, like in America, because you said you're only in Canada for your tour.
Yeah, we will be.
Year.
I can't name the city that we're playing in this year, but we are planning on hitting major. Wolf Parade is going to hit major population centers in America in 2026 and 2027.
Well, I will be looking
Unless the
forward...
Estonian equivalent of Shinbet stops them.
Exactly. I'd like to see them try. Yeah. Got eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be awaiting. I know how I'm betting on Kalshi for that.
Dan, man, it's always such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for spending an hour with us. And
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, this is fun.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
the computer.